Back in 2023, we redesigned one of my favorite Sims, Colby Demillio. He was a teenager, so of course, 2023, me decided that playing as young adult Colby would be a good reset. So we designed young adult Colby, who we decided has come into his expression more. So they present as more of like non binary to feminine leaning at this point because somewhere along their high school years they realized that, you know, they're pretty much. Because somewhere along their high school years they realized that, what's the fun of life if you can't really be yourself? So they just express themselves a lot more now as they go into their young adulthood. Another change that I made is that we no longer live in Windenburg. We now live in this the university world. I always forget the name, but the point is that Colby lives in the university world. Their their interests are painting and video gaming, so that's what they do for like most of most of the footage. Well, most of their life. They're still a loner, not in their traits at all. Their traits are creative and geek, but their behavior is definitely loner. They prefer to be alone. They prefer to stream at home or paint paintings. They're just living their best life, I think. But I'm sure Colby thinks differently from me. Being a very hardworking person, I think at this point they think that they're just biding their time before university. They're just chilling out, summer vacation, um, and then they're going to start university in a bit. But for now, they're just grinding as much as they can, whilst being completely off the radar, away from any Sims, which is so funny because streaming is a very social thing. But for Colby, that kind of like parasocial behavior is a lot better than interacting with people in real life. So for them, that's pretty much their social need. So this goes on for a while until Colby gets their acceptance letter. They don't get accepted into any distinguished degrees, but they do attend the orientation of both schools. And while they're attending the orientation of both schools, they meet a girl named Julia Wright. Julia is so pretty and so nice to them. So even though they're absolutely an introvert, they decide to have a video call with Julia after the orientation. And during that video call, she basically gives Colby tips about university. She says that university is a whole different ball game from high school, and that if Colby wants to fit in better with the crowd, they definitely have to change themselves. And Colby takes this advice to heart and literally, absolutely transforms themselves. Aside from the physical transformation, though, Colby's pretty much the same person. They still love to paint. They still are relatively an introvert, except for this one girl that they're interested in. But of course, she's interested in someone else, and Colby feels like a clown. But after that rejection, Colby, being Colby, quickly bounces back and decides that college life is going to be fun anyway, and Julia Wright does not, in fact, matter at all.